Rebecca, so nice to see you again.
So great to see you.
All right, so we're gonna go straight to the subject here, and the reason we are in this video conference is to find a solution for some clients that are really in pain. And then I feel that when somebody's feeling something, it might be resonating in a collective way to many other people. So that's why I would like to hear from you, Rebecca, about what would you say, or what would you recommend to a client or to anybody who is going through this kind of dark zone and they don't know how to get out of that dark place? What do you say?
So the first thing I think of is a concept that I teach my clients, which is pain is in the resistance. Pain is not necessarily in the hard work that we have to do to transition from one place to another or through a particular thing we're going through. It's not necessarily the emotions that we're going to feel when we do that. It's really the resistance before we decide to make whatever decision we're going to make. And a lot of times, if you look at it in terms of having inner power and outer power, that inner power are the strengths that we have within. When those are kind of depleted or they're not as strong as they need to be, we have to find something else that has power. It's almost like plugging something in and then we get that juice going again. So the reason why I use the term outer power is because collectively there is a power that's greater than just me and my inner power. It's the power that makes food come up out of the ground and the sun set at night. And if I can learn to tap into that power, then I start getting energized, almost like, a computer or a cell phone that has to be plugged in to get charged. And so when I'm faced with that resistance, usually what's happening is I am not open to talking or connecting to and with that power. And what it simply comes down to is saying, and you can call it God, you can call it the universe. We have all terms that we can personalize to ourselves. So we can say universe or source or God. I know you're up there and I'm struggling and I need help. Like, how can you help me? Please, I've been turning away from you for so long and I really need your help. Please just give me a sign, or please tell me the first thing that I need to do in order to let this resistance go away so we can work together. And it's miraculous when that happens, how instantly that heaviness and that weight and that pain completely opens up and you start flooding in with that power and that light and that love that is in that collective power that's outside of us. And that's when we start integrating. It's when that outer and inner power start coming together, working together, where it almost feels like we're completely the same. And that's the integration that we're hoping for. And that's what takes the pain away.
Wow, I really love what you say and how you put it, because it's really easy to understand. So like when you're feeling like you are in that darkness moment, it's because you're really shutting down and you're putting resistance. Like you're not really open and you close, and then the resistance doesn't let you move on. So it's similar to when we're not like exercising and for a while, and then you feel like, why bother, I'm getting fat anyway, and then you get in that zone of like pessimism, right? And it seems like it's those balls. The more we are in that state, it increases. And then you say like, okay, so then you have your inner power and your outer power, and the outer power can help you. So by simply asking for help, it shifts you from being powerless, like, there's no solution for me. It's like saying the same thing, like, okay, how can I start exercising? How do I begin, right? That would be a parallel example. So I really like that. And then you say, what is the first thing I have to do? Just give me one thing, and then you wait to hear the answer, which is inspiration, right? Inspiration will come. That's what you feel inspired, right, Rebecca?
Yeah, and it can even go as far as being intuition, where if we are filling up in our three inner dimensions, our mental, emotional, and physical, and we're getting that inner power back, and then we learn to connect to our personal outer power, which is our fourth dimension, our spiritual dimension, that's when you get that flow. And that's when everything is coming through and you get your answers, whether it's through meditation or whether you're just sitting here and you happen to, be clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient. That's when those senses start coming out, where you see something or hear something or feel something. That's when we know we're connected. And that's when like the real life begins. And like I said, it just starts with acknowledging that there's something out there that can help you, asking for that help. I'm in a bad way. Please heal my heart. Please heal my head. Please take away worry. Please tell me the next thing to do. And like you were saying with the exercising, like when you haven't exercised for a while and you go and you dive into that pool and you start swimming, like my first thought is, why don't I do this every day? It's like instantly, like something happens where it really was in the resistance. It's not in those strokes that's like hard to do because you haven't done it for a while. It's really just that barrier of resistance that we create. And if we can just see it as a barrier we're creating, we can choose to take that barrier away and everything will just start flowing again.
Yes, it's not like that example that I also like you're in the bottom of a well, and so then there is help. People or somebody will throw you a rope, but the rope is there, but you gotta grab it, right? If you don't grab it and all you do is this, then you won't be assisted. So, and then just talking about this makes me remember the Thai kids, in Thailand, the story of the boys that were locked into the cave for so long. Inspiring story. You guys can check out, and I'll put a link of the video below if you haven't heard about this story. But they survived for 14 days, basically with no food, and just really with the power of the mind and staying in a state of calmness and believing and hoping. I think that hope is a very strong energy too. Like this is gonna shift. I don't know how, but something's gonna come to help me, or someone, or something's gonna, just have that hope, right?
Yeah, it's the action that we have to take along with that hope, because like you were saying, if that help comes but we're not willing to accept the help, that's on us. We stay exactly where we are. But if we're willing to be a little bit uncomfortable, pushing through that resistance and just be a little bit uncomfortable to get to the other side, where there might be more hard work, but it's going to be different hard work. And it's not going to be as painful as the resistance that we were creating.
Mm-hmm. So Rebekah, to wrap up this video, what is your favorite quote regarding this subject?
So it's a quote that I just remember a lot, because a lot of us, especially when we're in a painful place or a hard place, we tend to be really hard on ourselves. And so this is something that a mentor of mine told me a long time ago, and I think about it every day, and I tell my clients, be gentle with yourself. It's really important to make sure that we are not putting ourselves down or being hard on ourselves or setting too high expectations that we can't achieve. We are who we are. We are who we are right now. And to be gentle with ourselves and just know that we're doing our best, that's the best love we can give.
That's lovely. That's like treat yourself as if you were your best friend, right? Because most of the time we treat ourselves like we are our enemy. And that's really key. Awesome. All right. Thank you so much, Rebekah. That was so inspiring. As always, you are amazing. I would like to thank you so much. And I want to tell you that you're watching this video to subscribe to my channel so that you can also learn about the next video and the next interview with coaches and many other amazing information I'm going to be posting here. So Rebekah, a big namaste to you.
Namaste. It was so good seeing you.
Until next time.
Okay.